There's no competence in this president. There never has been, and there was never intended to be. This president is a joker who was played upon the American people with a lot of drug money behind it, and he was never intended that he would be competent. He is totally incompetent. He's not a man of intellect. He's a man who's trained to babble, and he's been taught the recipes to babble. He has no comprehension of what he's talking about. But however, he is the elected president of the United States. And you cannot have coups at this time because the dangers already, there are too many threats of coup d'etats already around. And the system is set up for overthrows of governments, including the United States government. For example, right now, as you may recall, that when certain interests in London and the United States set up what became known as 9/11, as an operation run as a Saudi-British operation with cooperation of certain people inside the United States. And that's documented. That's a fact. This thing was funded by a British-Saudi operation in which the ambassador of Saudi Arabia to the United States was a key figure in preparing what became known as 9/11. At the time, there were many indications of what that was, but this was quickly hushed up. And the investigations, even as far as they went, were blocked. Certain facts were blocked out. But the evidence was always there, and all you had to do was to look in the right place. And it's there. It came from an alliance between Saudi Arabia and London, which financed and planned the entire operation, and the Saudi ambassador to the United States at that time was a key figure in setting up the operation. Now, this information was accessible to the incumbent government of the United States at that time, but it was hushed up. And something else which had been intended was done instead. The intention was to destroy this government. How? From the inside. And you had an idiot who was an unreconstructed drug addict, a cocaine freak, who had avoided military service in Vietnam by being co-opted into the Texas Air Guard. The Texas Air Guard didn't want him, but the Bush family forced him upon the Texas Air Guard. This fellow continued his habit, which included cocaine, a serious cocaine habit, and the head of the Texas Air Guard and company shipped this guy out to another state where he was supervised by a couple of military officials to go through drug treatment for cocaine addiction. And he went through a year of training in his cure for cocaine addiction, which didn't work. Right? So we had a coke addict who entered the White House as President of the United States, an unreconstructed coke addict, and who just could not drink alcohol except near beer. And he was nothing. Mean character, a mean little jerk, but no brains to speak of. The father was not too bright either. The brains in the family had been used up by the grandfather, who had been a key man in putting Hitler into power in Germany. And you're dealing with this kind of process, Anglo-American process all the way through, still to the present day.